Over the past 2 decades, China has dramatically expanded its economic ties with Africa, becoming the continent's largest trading partner and a major source of financing and construction. In 2024 alone, China announced over $51 billion in new infrastructure deals. But what's driving this building boom? It's a mix of China's hunger for Africa's vast natural resources, its search for new markets, and its desire to project geopolitical power. The impact has been transformative, though not without controversy, as we'll see. Will they bring prosperity and development, or are there hidden costs and risks? Keep these questions in mind as we explore the top 10 Chinese megaprojects in Africa. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the impressive Subre Hydroelectric Power Station in Ivory Coast. Situated on the mighty Sassandra River, this colossal dam boasts a generating capacity of 275 megawatts, enough to power over 200,000 Ivorian homes. The project, which cost a total of $572 million, was largely financed by China, with the Export-Import Bank of China providing 85% of the funding. Sinohydro, a Chinese state-owned hydropower engineering and construction company, completed the dam in 2017, overcoming challenges such as difficult terrain and heavy rainfall during the construction process. The Subre Dam is a significant step forward for Ivory Coast's energy independence. Before its construction, the country relied heavily on energy imports from neighboring countries. Now, with this homegrown power source, Ivory Coast is better positioned to meet its growing electricity demands and even export surplus power. Sailing into the number 9 spot is the Walvis Bay Container Terminal Expansion Project in Namibia. This $300 million megaproject, masterfully executed by China Harbor Engineering Company, reached completion in 2019 after nearly 4 years of construction. The project involved dredging the port's navigation channel, reclaiming 40 hectares of land from the sea, and constructing a new 600-meter quay wall. The results are impressive. The port's annual handling capacity has skyrocketed from 350,000 TEU to 750,000 TEU. That's the equivalent of 750,000 standard 20-foot shipping containers. That's about the same as the Port of Valencia in Spain, Europe's 5th busiest container port. To put this into perspective, if you lined up all those containers end to end, they would stretch from New York City to Los Angeles and back again. But why is this project so significant? For starters, it positions Walvis Bay as a key trade hub for the Southern African region. With its increased capacity and efficiency, the port can now accommodate larger vessels and handle more cargo, boosting Namibia's import and export potential. Interestingly, the Walvis Bay expansion is just one piece of a larger puzzle. It's part of the Walvis Bay Corridor Group initiative, which aims to develop a network of transport routes linking Namibia to its landlocked neighbors like Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. By improving regional connectivity, this project could help unlock trade and economic growth across southern Africa. At number 8, we have Egypt's new administrative capital. This colossal $45 billion project is essentially building a new mega city from scratch. Located just 45 kilometers east of Cairo, this ambitious development will sprawl across 700 square kilometers. That's about the size of Singapore. China is heavily involved in both the financing and construction of this ambitious endeavor, with Chinese companies like China State Construction Engineering Corporation and China Fortune Land Development Co. playing key roles. The new capital will feature state-of-the-art government districts, cutting-edge financial centers, a sprawling green space larger than Central Park, and even an iconic 1-kilometer tall tower that will redefine Egypt's skyline. Upon completion, this marvel of urban planning is expected to house up to 6.5 million residents, create over 2 million jobs, and ease the pressure on the heavily congested Cairo. It's a project that not only addresses Egypt's rapid urbanization challenges, but also serves as a model for sustainable, smart city development in Africa and beyond. Surging into the number 7 position.
Yo, that's dope. What do you think, guys? This is the difference between China and Europe, America, stuff like that. You know what I mean? China, they come, they try to do businesses, they try to help the development of the African country and the continent. And that's great, And it's gonna put Africa on the map, and it's gonna develop the countries, creating more jobs for people as well. You can say whatever you want to say about China, but what they're doing right there, it's amazing. It's amazing. Because remember, in 2050, Africa is going to have the largest population on the planet, surpassing China and India. Right now it's China and India, or maybe India and China. But to 2050, Africa is going to be the largest population on the planet. And all of them are going to be under 20 years old. Huge market. Okay? So you need to develop the continent. And China is very, very intelligent. For them, I want to sell things and I want people to buy my things. So if you have the money, if you have middle class, upper class, you have rich people, and the economy is booming, they're gonna pay, they're gonna buy. And it's a win-win situation. It's not only about coming in Africa, stealing the resources, and buy. No, it's about, hey guys, do you need something? I got this. Let's do our businesses. And here we are. And I like those things because it's helped the African countries to develop, you know? But the African leaders need to do better. You know what I mean? They need to stop with all those, I want to stay in power, I'm 80 years old, 90 years old, and I want to still, no. Let the younger generation lead the country. Like what's going on in Burkina Faso. I just did a video about Ibrahim Traoré. What he's doing, it's amazing. We need younger leaders with a vision, you know, that understand what's going on in 2025, that will do the best deals. Because I want you guys to tell me something. What do you think about the fact that most of these deals in Africa between China and African countries, China owns 75, 80, 85% of the infrastructures that they are building. What do you guys think about that? Is it fair? It's not. And keep in mind, they are also bringing their workers, you know? So is it a fair deal that you bring in your workers while my country is poor and I need my people to work to develop? Because if it's just developing for developing, that doesn't make any sense. It's literally dependency, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna develop my country, you're gonna leave, and my people don't know how to sustain those infrastructures. And what's gonna happen? I'm just gonna call you again. Hey, can you come back to, you know? Because it doesn't work anymore. So I mean, let me know what you think, guys, about those deals. Are they fair or no? I mean, at the same time, they better than what Africans used to have with Europeans and Americans. You know, I've never seen Americans or Europeans build a city in Africa or whatever, you know. They just come and take the resources and they leave and create a bunch of proxy wars there to steal the minerals. So what do you guys think about what China is doing in Africa? Let's keep pushing.
Position is Angola's monumental Kakulo Kabasa hydropower project. This titan of a dam, located on the powerful Kwanza River, is set to generate a staggering 2,172 megawatts of electricity, more than double Angola's current installed capacity. With a price tag of $4.5 billion, financed by China's development bank, this project is a massive investment in Angola's energy future. Construction giant China Geopolitics Group, known for their work on the Three Gorges Dam in China, broke ground on the project in 2017, employing over 10,000 workers and overcoming challenges such as rugged terrain and limited infrastructure in the region. Once operational, the Kakalokabasa Dam will not only light up homes and power industries across Angola, but also export electricity to neighboring countries like Namibia and South Africa. It's a project that has the potential to transform Angola into a regional energy hub and drive economic growth throughout southern Africa. However, as with any large-scale dam project, there are environmental and social concerns to consider. The dam will flood a vast area, potentially displacing communities and impacting local ecosystems. It's crucial that these impacts are carefully managed and mitigated to ensure the project's long-term sustainability. At number 6 spot is Tanzania's ambitious Port of Bagamoyo project. With a projected cost of $10 billion, this megaport is set to transform Tanzania's maritime trade and position the country as a gateway to East Africa. China Merchants Port, a state-owned Chinese company, has taken the lead in financing and developing this project, which is strategically located just 75 kilometers north of Dar es Salaam. Upon completion, the port is expected to have an annual capacity of 20 million TEU. That's more than 7 times the container volume handled by the Port of Mombasa, currently East Africa's largest port. To give you a sense of scale, 20 million TEU is roughly equivalent to the combined container throughput of all African ports in 2019. The Port of Bagamoyo is not just a game-changer for Tanzania. It has the potential to reshape trade flows across the entire East African region, connecting landlocked countries like Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi to global markets. While the project has faced some delays due to financing challenges and environmental concerns, it remains a key priority for Tanzania's government. While the final outcome remains to be seen, one thing is clear: if realized, the Port of Bagamoyo could reshape the economic landscape of East Africa for decades to come. At the number 5 spot is Nigeria's Lagos-Ibadan Railway. This 156-kilometer standard gauge railway line, constructed by China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, came with a price tag of $1.5 billion. Completed in 2021 after several delays, the railway now connects 2 of Nigeria's most populous and economically vital cities, Lagos and Ibadan. The journey, which
China is doing great things. That's dope. Someone told me in China they have a say that says that if you want to be rich, something like that, if you want to be rich, you need to build roads. That's crazy. And that's what's happening right here. You know, creating ports, creating railways, connecting the country, connecting the continent. This is the only way we are going to be rich. And the continent of Africa is going to change. And it's going to be on the top. What do you think, guys? That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's freaking beautiful. Can you imagine for those people who did not have the trains, you know, to go to work? It's expensive. And now with the train, you can maybe do a distance to 1 hour. While back in the day, they used to do it 3-4 hours just to go to work somewhere else. That's crazy. Shout out to China. They understand the vision. I feel like for China, Africa is a sin city, or is a sin continent. You know, they're trying to build everything. That's insane. They're building everything from scratch. That's dope. That's dope. And at the same time, it's beneficial for China as well, because the Chinese economy is going down slowly. It's slowing down. You know what I mean? And Africa is when it comes to infrastructures, it's empty. So when you are China and you have a lot of workers in your country that doesn't have work right now because of the economy slowing down, and you have projects in Africa, you can just ship all those people in Africa and they have a job and pay them and they work in Africa. Because for Africa to reach the, how do I say that, the China level, Dubai level, America level, European level, you need 20, 30, 50 years for all the continent to be like that. So, you send a bunch of Chinese people to work there, you're good. You're good, because the Chinese economy is slowing down right now. Not only Chinese economy, European economy, American economy, everybody's slowing down. So sending your people to work in Africa, doing contract with African country is another way to keep your people working. You know what I mean? And that's a win-win situation for them. But I don't know what do you guys think? Because if it was me, I would have said in the deal, you own 60%, you bring your people. Because the majority of people that are working are your people. Yeah, 75% is a little bit too much. You need to do something about that, 70%, but the majority of people working need to be my people, not your people. Okay, what do you guys think? I don't know, I'm just thinking about that.
Previously took several hours by road can now be completed in just over 2 hours by train, with trains running at speeds of up to 150 kilometers per hour. But why is this railway so significant? For starters, it's a major upgrade from the old, narrow gauge line that dated back to the colonial era. That line was slow, inefficient, and prone to frequent breakdowns. In contrast, the new standard gauge railway is faster, smoother, and more reliable. Moreover, the Lagos-Ibadan Railway is just the first phase of a much larger project, the Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge Railway. This ambitious initiative aims to connect Nigeria's economic heartland in the south with its populous northern regions, stretching over 1,100 kilometers. By improving connectivity and reducing transportation costs, the railway could be a game changer for Nigeria's economy. At the number 4 position is another Nigerian megaproject, the Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Project. This behemoth of a dam, located on the picturesque Donga River in Taraba State, is set to generate a staggering 3,050 megawatts of electricity upon completion. That's enough to power millions of Nigerian homes and meet nearly a quarter of the country's current electricity demand. To give you a sense of scale, the Mambilla Dam will generate 1.5 times more electricity than the famous Hoover Dam in the United States. With a hefty price tag of $5.8 billion, Chinese construction giant Sinohydro has taken on the challenge of bringing this project to life in partnership with several Nigerian companies. Sinohydro, known for their work on the massive Three Gorges Dam in China, brings a wealth of experience to the table. Construction began in 2018, and the dam is expected to be fully operational by 2030. At number 3 position, we have Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway. This electrified cross-border railway line stretches 756 kilometers, linking landlocked Ethiopia to the strategic port of Djibouti. It's a project of immense significance both countries, with far-reaching implications for trade, development, and regional integration. Two Chinese giants, China Railway Group and China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, joined forces to bring this $4 billion project to fruition, with substantial financial backing from the Export-Import Bank of China. Completed in 2018 after nearly 6 years of construction, the railway has transformed the way people and goods move between Ethiopia and Djibouti. What once took days by road can now be accomplished in a mere 12 hours by train, with freight trains running at speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour. But the significance of this railway goes beyond just transportation. It's estimated that the Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway will boost Ethiopia's GDP by 2.2% 2% annually, create over 20,000 jobs, and reduce the cost of doing business in the region. For Ethiopia, a country with a population of over 110 million and one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa, this railway is a game changer that will help drive industrialization, attract foreign investment, and deepen regional integration. For Djibouti, the railway is a key part of its strategy to position itself as a regional logistics hub. At number 2 spot is the magnificent Maputo-Katembe Bridge in Mozambique. This engineering marvel, constructed by China Road and Bridge Corporation, holds the prestigious title of Africa's longest suspension bridge, stretching an incredible 3 kilometers across the Maputo Bay. The $785 million project, inaugurated in 2018 after 4 years of construction, has connected the capital city Maputo with Katembe district across the bay. Before the bridge, the only way to cross was by ferry, a slow and often unreliable process that could take hours. Now, the journey takes just minutes, opening up new opportunities for commerce, commuting, and tourism. The bridge is capable of handling up to 1,500 vehicles per hour, but the impact of this bridge goes beyond just saving time. It's estimated that the Maputo-Katembe Bridge will boost Mozambique's GDP by 3%. For the people of Katembe, a district that has long been isolated from the economic heart of Mozambique, this bridge is a lifeline that connects them to opportunities and a better future. And at number 1 position, we have the Nairobi-Mombasa Standard Gauge Railway in Kenya. This 472 kilometers railway line, affectionately known as the Madaraka Express, has revolutionized transportation in East Africa's largest economy. Built by China Road and Bridge Corporation at a cost of $3.2 billion, with 90% of the funding coming from the Export-Import Bank of China, this railway has slashed travel times between Nairobi and Mombasa from over 10 hours to just 4.5 hours. But the significance of this project goes beyond just saving time and stimulate the growth of new industries along the corridor. It's a project that has the potential to transform Kenya into a regional transportation hub and a gateway to East Africa. But there's more to this story than just economics. Some experts believe that the railway is part of China's broader strategy to increase its influence in Africa, a modern-day Silk Road that will deepen trade ties and shape geopolitics for decades to come. Regardless of the geopolitical implications, one thing is clear: the Nairobi-Mombasa Standard Gauge Railway is a game changer for Kenya and a symbol of Africa's infrastructure renaissance. It's a project that not only connects cities, but also connects people to opportunities and a brighter future. From the deserts of Egypt to the ports of Tanzania, China's investment in Africa, totaling trillions of dollars, is a strategic move that intertwines economic growth with geopolitical influence. By funding infrastructure projects across the continent, China not only secures access to vital natural resources, but also strengthens its diplomatic ties with African nations. So, what do you think? Which of these megaprojects impresses you the most? Do you think China's investments will transform Africa for the better, or could there be a downside? Let us know in the comments below. And
yeah, shout out to Civil Mentors for the video. Yeah, I think things gonna change in the future for the better. As long as we have great leaders with vision, because it's not only about developing the country, sustaining the country. It's about a vision, what you want to do with the country, with the people. You know what I mean? And China is doing amazing things in Africa. I'm not gonna lie. That's facts. We can see that. And I'm gonna keep bringing more videos. And because their vision is just different from European and American vision, you know. I'm not saying that they are angels. I'm not saying that they are friends. Nobody has friends. It's just businesses. You know what I mean? But African leaders need to make great deals and not just sell the country and the resources. Need to have a vision. Because with China's help, we can be the continent of Africa. can be a huge, huge, huge center in the future. Since Africa has everything that everybody needs, you know what I mean? For example, we need to stop using petroleum cars, gas cars, stuff like that. We need to switch to electrical cars. We have sun each day from January to December. We need to think differently. Electrical trains as well. You know what I mean? That's the vision. But if you don't have a leader that can, bring those kind of vision, you're gonna lose at the end. You know what I mean? But a shout out to China. They are doing their thing. They're here to do business. And Africa needs to choose carefully, the type of business they want to do. They need to be careful to not sell the country. They need to secure the country. Okay? Make the country safe. Because if you create infrastructures and your country is not safe, and if you have proxy wars, whatever, and it's destroying your infrastructures, you are going to pay again to build those things. So you need to build your army. You need to secure your country. Okay? So those infrastructures remain safe and kept. And you need to choose young leaders like Ibrahim Traore that has a vision to lead the continent, to lead the countries. And the relationship between China and Africa is amazing. But the relationship between Chinese and Africans is not good. I've seen a lot of videos of Chinese in Africa mistreating African. That's not good. I've seen a lot of videos of Chinese in China mistreating Africans. That's not good. During COVID, I've seen a lot of videos, Africans sleeping in the streets, kicking them out of the hotels, whatever they were. That's not good. That's not the kind of relationship that you want to have. Because it creates resentment, anger. Okay? And to change the relationships between the people, we need to bring respect. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of Chinese in Africa being attacked, being armed for no reason because of the resentment. You know what I mean? The anger. We need to create a relationship based upon respect each other. And there are also a lot of videos of Chinese people marrying African women living in Africa, building stuff, mostly Zambia, Ethiopia, Uganda, countries like that. We've seen a lot of Chinese marrying those African women, and we've seen a lot of African in China marrying Chinese women. So we have communities being created, both sides. But we need to respect each other. Because the relationship between China and Africa always were good relationships. So we need to keep that, right? So guys, thanks for that moment. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment below. Let me know what you think about those projects. I'm going to keep bringing more videos about what's going on in Africa. Go watch the video that I made about Ibrahim Traore and the first video that I made about, again, the relationship between China and Africa. They are the only one building Africa, so we need to focus on them. You know what I mean? There are Turkish, India also companies doing stuff, but mostly it's China building Africa. So I'm gonna keep bringing those kind of videos, show what's going on, and yeah, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Let me know what you think about all those deals. Are they fair? No. What African leaders should do? Yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys. Till next time, take care of you and your family. Peace out.